Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so for this week's digital pattern making tutorial in Adobe Illustrator, I want to demonstrate how to match your pattern notches. I'm going to show you two very different techniques. The first one is using the old-fashioned sort of like paper pattern cutting method, which is basically where we match our panels, we rotate, and then we mark our notches in the correct location. The second one is using a very handy little tool that I've just discovered in Adobe Illustrator, which is using the dashed line tool. Now this is a very accurate technique, and we actually compare the two techniques side by side so you have a better understanding of how they work and also which one's going to be best for you. Anyway, to get started in this tutorial, I'm just going to jump on the Mac and yeah, we'll get started. I'll see you then. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I have got an A-line dress pattern here, which I created a little while ago. So basically, what I've done is I've removed the notches on the sleeve. So obviously we need to know where this point matches up. So let me just copy and paste this to show you exactly what's happening here. Let's reflect it, click OK. So what I'm going to do is, this is the front curve of our sleeve and this is the front of our bodice block. And essentially I want to match these up. So I want to know whereabouts this point falls on my sleeve. And there's a few different ways I can do this. First, I'm going to show you let's say the manual paper pattern cutting method, which is what you do on paper. So what I do is I'm going to get my big section tool. I've clicked on my whole sleeve pattern here. Obviously it is grouped. The object, if I ungroup it, it's going to have a whole bunch of different elements. So that is obviously make sure that your sleeve is grouped. Okay, so it's one item, you can move it around the page. Next, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to zoom in here. I'm just going to use the Command plus to zoom in and the Command minus to zoom out on my keyboard. I'm going to have my big section tool. I'm going to click on this little corner here. I'm just going to match those two corners together. I'm then going to go over to my rotation tool over here. And I'm just going to simply click on that corner point. So my angle of rotation is just on that point, okay? So I'm just then going to rotate that, and as you can see, it's starting to map to that curve. I'm then going to click the point. You see where it's the middle of the rotation? I'm going to click on that point with my rotation tool, click and drag. Once again, click, click and drag, click, click and drag. Oh, don't be too, try and be delicate. Click and drag, click and drag. And obviously, the more time you spend doing this, the more accurate you are, obviously, the better it's going to be. And then once we have that nicely lined up, I'm then just going to go to my line tool here. I'm just going to simply click there and then drag. I want to try and make that a 90-degree angle to my seam allowance. This is my seam allowance for the sleeve. I want to make sure it's about 90 degrees. If it's not perfect, you can always go to a small selection tool and you can click on the line and then on that little end point, and you can always move it up and down with your arrow keys. So I think that's pretty good when it comes to a 90-degree angle to my seam allowance. Next, what I'm doing is I'm going to select that line. I'm going to go to the eyedropper tool and I'm going to select the outline of my seam allowance because it's actually 2 points. So I can either pick up the attributes of this line. So once again, with this line selected, I can then go to the eyedropper tool and then click on my outline, which gives us 2 point, or I can go to my stroke tool and here I can give it whatever line thickness that I actually want. And so my inner lines are 1 point and my outer lines, my cut lines, are going to be 2 point. And next what I'm doing is get my big section tool, click on that item there. I'm going to hold down the shift key on my keyboard, get the big section tool and then click on my sleeve pattern. And obviously because it's grouped, it'll select the whole pattern. Now if I move it away, you'll see that notch is in place. I'm just going to go object and then let's group that. Just so now if I click off and then big selection tool, if I click on that again and move it, you can see it's in place. I'm going to do exactly the same with my back armhole. So I'm just going to get my big section tool, I'm going to click on that pattern piece just and drag it to those corners match, the underarm seams match like that. Let's just zoom in with the Command plus on my keyboard. I'm going to go to the rotation tool over here on the left. I'm going to click on that point, I'm going to rotate it until those two lines pretty much match up. And just find that middle point. There we go. And just keep rotating around exactly the same in exactly the same way I did it the first time. And you're going to have a very tiny amount of, it might be off by a tiny amount, but it's probably going to be about 1 millimeter, and if not, it's going to be about less than 1 millimeter. It all depends on how well you map this. So just click and drag. Yeah, we can maybe do one there if we wanted to. There we go. And then I'm just going to get my line tool, click on the line tool. I'm going to click from that point and drag it out. Oops, I'm not quite on there. You can always zoom in with your Command plus on your keyboard if you want to get a closer look. I'm just going to drag it so it's about 90 degree to my sleeve. And then with my big section tool, I'm going to click on that little line, hold down my shift key on my keyboard, click on the outline of my sleeve block. Let's just zoom out. I can then, with them both selected, drag it away and hit group. Perfect. So to group, obviously once again, just make sure both of them are selected. So let's just ungroup it. Grab both of them, just go Object and then Group. And that is how we add notches to our sleeve by using the old-fashioned sort of like paper pattern cutting method by simply just tracing that out. And what I want to do is, obviously I don't want my pattern piece to look like this. This is a bit unfortunate. I'm going to get my line tool. I'm going to click from that center point there, click and drag down, hold down my Shift key to lock it to the vertical. And then let's get my big selection tool here. Go to my rotate tool. I'm just going to click on that point and use that center, let's say that's that top of the sleeve line, and match it to that vertical. So our grain lines are nicely aligned with all of the other pattern pieces. And also I actually reflected this so I could actually map it, because obviously this is the front, this is the front, that's the back, that's the back. I'm just going to then click on it, right click and go Transform Reflect, click OK, and now the front is here and the back is here, as it was originally drafted. So that's how we add notches to let's say a sleeve. You can do the same with other blocks as well. So for example, let's match these two together like this. Just to show it's not just the sleeve we can do this with. I'm going to go to my rotation tool. I'm going to click on this point here and then I'm going to start to rotate. Click, rotate, click, rotate, up there, click and rotate, etc. And you know what, here I could put in a notch, but I could apply it to both panels. And to do that, I go to my line tool, I can then just click and drag, and I want to try and make it quite nice and even, so 90 degree to this line, okay, to the pattern line. Then once I've drawn that line, I can then go to the scissor tool, snip it in the center, and then go to this one. Let's zoom out. So this one would apply to this pattern piece. If you have a look, this one will apply to this pattern piece. So I'm going to get my big selection tool. I'm going to click on that line, hold down my Shift key, click on the main pattern piece. I'm going to hit Object and then Group. I'm going to do the same for this one, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key on my keyboard, select the other pattern piece, my big selection tool, and then just hit Object and then Group. And then when I move them away, you'll see we have two notches and they're going to meet up or match up perfectly, which is great. So that just shows you how we can do this. And also if I want to align this one, I only have a horizontal. So I'm going to get my line tool, I'm going to click on that little corner there, hold down my Shift key to lock it to the horizontal, release, get my big section tool, click on this pattern piece, go to my rotation tool, click, and then rotate it until it's back into its proper position. Place it over there, and obviously this one didn't change, that's fine. So that's how we basically rotate our panel pieces in the old school sort of like pattern making method to actually apply notches and to check our patterns. Okay, the next technique I'm going to show you is how to, it's a completely different concept, but it's very, very cool. I'm going to show you in exactly the same way. So let's just get rid of these notches. In fact, you know what, let's leave that because I want to compare it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this whole pattern here, I'm going to hit copy and paste. I'm going to paste it in so we've got a copy of it. Just so I can compare it, I'm going to get rid of these notches because I don't want these here anymore. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with my small selection tool, select this line here, go to my scissor tool, snip and snip, and then I'm going to go over to my, this is my front of my sleeve because it's the front of my blocks, this is the front armhole curve. I'm also going to get the small selection tool, I'm going to select that curve, snip, and then let's just take this. So I'm just selecting I've isolated this one little armhole curve here, and I want to know what the distance of this line is because I want to apply that distance to my arm or to my sleeve block and then obviously mark the notch at that distance. So I'm just going to go over here to my document info. If you can't find that, go to Window and then, where is it? Document info. Just click on it, and if you can't see the centimeters or inches, whatever, just click on this little burger menu and then just make sure it's on Objects. You'll probably see it come up with Documents like this. Just go to Objects and it'll show you what your value is in centimeters or whatever you've decided to apply to your Illustrator block. So for example, if you want to change these units, if you want to be inches or pixels, or obviously pixels isn't very good for pattern cutting, but for centimeter inches, just go to Illustrator, Preferences, Units, and then you can change it to whatever you want. For example, we could do millimeters, let's change it to inches, click OK, and you see it hasn't changed here, that's okay. Just simply click on Document, then go back, click on Objects, and then you have inches. And let's just change that back. So Illustrator Preferences, Units. Let's then go to centimeters, click OK. And then here, let's just click on that line again, and it's now in centimeters. But once again, you can either click off and then click on a line and it'll reset it to centimeters. Anyway, let's get back to our tutorial. So 10.18 is the length of that line, 10.18 centimeters. So now I want to apply 10.18 centimeters to this line here. How do I do that? It's actually a lot simpler than you thought, and it's a very, very handy trick in Adobe Illustrator. So I'm going to get my small selection tool, I'm going to click on this line, I'm going to go over to my stroke tool here. Once again, go to Window and then find the stroke toolbox in there. Click stroke, and here I'm going to put dashed line. And here I'm going to change this to, what is it, 10.18 centimeters. So my first dash is going to be 10.18 centimeters. And then this can be something like 60 centimeters because we don't need that. And if I just simply click off, you'll see that it's now obviously marked the point where that point should be. And let's just check, was it 10.18? It was 10.18, which is great. So it's about 10.2 centimeters. So now, if I zoom in, Command+++, this is the length of our line. As you can see, the line's still there, but this is the first dash, which should be 10.81 centimeters. So now, this better work. If I go to my scissor tool, and I just simply snip as close to that point as possible. Okay, so I've snipped it. And that is essentially where my notch is going to be going. So if I go to my line tool, I'm just going to mark that. I'm going to click and drag a line from that point out to the seam allowance and make sure it's about 90 degrees to the seam allowance. Get my eyedropper tool, I'm just going to pick up the value of the outside line here. But I want to know if this is actually 10.81. And because I cut it, you see, we have just that line length. And this is the moment of truth. If I go to my document info, we have 10.17. So it was 10.18, we got 10.17. So we are a tenth of a millimeter off when it comes to finding that notch. So this is a really powerful tool. It's absolutely amazing. So give it a little go. Okay, so there is one thing to mention though. We also have the opposite side as well. Now, what if we wanted to do the back armhole? So let's go over to the back. I'm gonna find the length of this line. Just get my small selection tool, click on that line, go to the scissor tool. I'm gonna snip and snip. And then here it is 13.44 centimeters, 13.4. Let's just write that because my memory is not great. 13.4 centimeters. So now we want to find it on the opposite side. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to my, so I've selected this line, got my small selection tool. I've selected this line. I'm going to go to my stroke. And then here I'm going to put in, what was it, 13.44. And then here we can have, oh, hang on. Also, don't forget, 13.44 type centimeters afterwards. If you don't, it'll be points or pixels and it's not going to work. And here we're going to put in 100 cm. Why not? Hit enter. And there you have it. But the problem is, you see, this is what I'm going to show you. The line starts at this point here, okay? Which means it's giving us the value of 13.44 along this side of it. And now that's not going to work for us. We want it to go from this side. So I'm just going to select this line, go to Object, and then we have, where is it, Path, and then we're going to go Reverse Path Direction. Now I haven't actually tried this yet, so let's have a look. And it should work. And there we have just reversed the direction of that path, so it's starting from this point and going to here. Now let's zoom in, Command+ on my keyboard. I'm going to use the scissor tool, and I'm just going to cut, just zoom in even more. We can be really precise. I'm going to cut it just about there. And then once again, I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to click and drag to the seam allowance. Let's just pick that up with the eyedropper. And so now this should be 13.44 centimeters. Should be 13.42. So once again, it is ever so slightly less, but it is less than a millimeter, which when you're sewing is not going to be an issue whatsoever. So now, because obviously we've lost this line, it's still in dash format. I'm just going to get my small selection tool. I'm going to click on that line. I'm going to go to the stroke options. I'm just going to remove the dash line. And now we have our lovely sleeve with the notches in place. And now, because they're all, various different elements and they're not joined or whatever else, you could go around, small selection tool, select the line to find the point, hold down the shift key, select the other line, select the point, right click and then join. And that's then obviously joined that line. And basically they've all still got the dash line on them. So let's just select all of these and remove the dash fill. There we go. And I can just simply click on this point, click on the line. So click on the line, click on the point, click on the line, click on the point, and then just right click and join. Same here, click, right click, let's just join all these up. We can then pathfind if we need to. So guys, we have a whole bunch of amazing digital pattern making tutorials in Adobe Illustrator, which gives you a lot of the lead up to all of the work that I'm doing here. So it's a really good idea you go and check that out. It's going to be in the description of this YouTube video, and also just visit patternlab.london and then check out our courses and you'll find it on there. Anyway, I'm going to compare these two. So I'm just going to simply get my big section tool. I'm going to click and drag over all of this. I'm going to go Object and Group because I don't want to lose those notches that I placed on there. Let's just click and drag this over, and you know what? It should be a pretty good match. Let's just nudge it, and look, it's pretty much perfect. In fact, you know how we basically rotated the first one? We rotated this one, and this one we actually created the line. So here, look, as you can see, we're actually more accurate with the second version. In other words, using that dashed line. So it's up to you which one you want to use, but I'd probably recommend using that dashed line. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also turn on your notifications. We post regular digital pattern cutting tutorials in Adobe Illustrator weekly, if not bi-weekly. And we'd hate for you to miss any of them because they're really, really interesting and also important when it comes to your digital pattern cutting journey. Anyway, also, if you want to see behind the scenes of kind of like what happens here in the studio and also what sort of like personal projects that I'm working on, then check out our Instagram channel. Obviously, the link's in the description. And finally, if you want to, let's say, draft made-to-measure digital basic blocks that work alongside these tutorials, then head on over to the patternlab.london website. If you prefer something a little bit simpler, then you can also check out designlab.london, where we hold a whole range of digital basic blocks, nested blocks from sizes UK 4 through to 24. So loads of cool content that you can have a look at. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.